Hey everyone, my name is Amanda Rodden. For those of you who don't know, welcome to my channel. And for this video, I'm going to be showing you my DIY Halloween decor ideas, a bit Tim Burton inspired, but let's jump right in. For this first project, you will need some black acrylic paint, a paintbrush including all painting supplies like a glass of water and a clean surface that is protected from getting paint on it, and a palette if you wish. You're also going to need 3 glass bottles for each of the 3 labels, and for one of them I actually have a green bottle because I liked the fact that it actually associated with frog's breath and looks like there could be frog's breath in it, so I'm not going to do anything with that one except adhere the label. But for the other 2, I'm going to paint them, and you can go in the info box below and get a link for the labels. You'll need those labels, Mod Podge, and a brush for the Mod Podge. Step 1 is painting the glass bottles black, and you're probably going to need a few coats of this, but once they are dried, you are ready for step 2. You're next going to just Mod Podge the label to the side of the glass, and it's okay if it's a little bit wrinkled and doesn't quite fit. It actually kind of has a cool look in my opinion, and when that is dry, you're going to go over the whole bottle with Mod Podge as well to give it the same surface texture. The first pumpkin is the black and white striped pumpkin. So you're going to want a pumpkin that has some pretty defined ridges to help you with different stripes. You will also need black and white acrylic paint, as well as a paintbrush and all of those painting supplies. Start off by alternating each ridge with black paint. And then you can go over the parts that you haven't painted with white paint. And I tend to be a messy painter, so I went back and did a few different coats and touched it up. So if you're like me, you may also want to do that. For the next pumpkin, you are going to need, of course, a pumpkin, and I chose one that was smaller and taller. And then I also have white acrylic paint, paintbrush and painting supplies, and a black Sharpie. Go ahead and paint your pumpkin entirely white. You'll probably need quite a few coats of this to cover up the orange or whatever color is underneath it, and to give it a pure white opaque look. Choose a favorite quote or poem or story or any kind of text, and you can start writing and spiraling that all the way around down on your pumpkin. I chose Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, the first and last stanza of it. You'll need one more pumpkin, black acrylic paint, paintbrush and painting supplies, a white crayon, and a blow dryer. Paint the entire pumpkin black, and again, you'll probably need a few coats of this. Taking the white crayon and the blow dryer, you're going to heat up the crayon so that the wax melts and falls on top of the pumpkin. You're probably going to want to maneuver the crayon around and the blow dryer around to kind of heat up the wax that has already fallen and to allow it to create the dripping effect that you see. You are going to need a paintbrush and painting supplies, black, white, and green acrylic paint, a little figure like an animal or a hand or something. I chose this little dinosaur from the dollar store. And then you're going to also need a circular base, whether it's a wood base or a candle like I'm using, or even a circular box. And then you'll need fake moss and hot glue gun and hot glue. Give your figure a few coats of green paint so that if you can see anything through the moss, it is just that color and nothing else. Paint your base white until it is opaque. If it has two pieces like mine does, paint them both separately. Start taking small pieces of moss and hot gluing them to your figure until it is entirely covered in moss. If you notice that your figure is kind of hard to tell what it is, you can trim the moss using either some nail trimming scissors, or I ended up happening to have some bonsai trimming shears that I ended up using. Now you're just going to start using black paint to paint black stripes onto your white base. And if you have two pieces like I do, then start with the top portion and then work to the bottom portion so that your stripes line up when the top is screwed or placed onto it. Lastly, you are going to hot glue your figure down to the base, and you're done. You are going to need some sort of a pot for this, and I chose a plastic one from the dollar store, and I liked the color of it, so I didn't have to paint it, and the plastic isn't going to break like a ceramic pot would. You're also going to need fake moss, at least 3 white Sculpey polymer clays, and then glue sticks for hot glue gun and a hot glue gun, white acrylic paint, black acrylic paint, painting supplies, and a piece of cardboard that is bigger than the diameter of your pot. Begin by sculpting your clay into whatever shape you want your tentacles to look like, making sure that it does have a flat base though. And then I used about 1 package of Sculpey clay per tentacle, and you're going to bake them for 15 minutes per every 1/4 inch at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. So for my tentacles, I set it for an hour and ended up having to add an extra 15 minutes to it. Grab your cardboard and place your pot on top of it so that the opening is face down, and draw the diameter. You're going to want to cut 1 inch into that and then glue it into your pot so that it becomes a base for your tentacles. Once your tentacles are out of the oven, they've hardened and cooled down, you can go ahead and give them a few coats of white paint. Once the white paint has dried, go ahead and start painting black bands around your tentacles all the way down from the tip down to the base. Finish up by gluing your tentacles down in whatever orientation you think looks best, and then gluing moss all around them and making sure that it covers the bottom of the tentacles as much as possible. And that sums up my Halloween DIY decor ideas for this year. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and see what I did last year for Halloween, a lot of makeup tutorials. You can go ahead and click here to see those videos, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.